Hey, what's up, guys? It is Ben 10,000 Joe, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. And today, guys, on Behind the Screen, I have a guest, one that you're probably not too familiar with unless you're, a deep follower of his. This is Clowny Knight.
Howdy.
I know, he wears a lot less makeup and armor than I thought he would.
Yeah, it's a big hassle in the mornings.
I just, I literally just picture, like, you putting on, like, clown makeup and then, like, putting on armor. Like, knight armor.
I mean, I don't have a clown armor, but I do have this hamburger hat.
And that's what's up. Oh, man. So, this series, obviously, for anyone who might be new watching, this is kind of an interview / conversation. So we're going to get to know a little bit about the man behind Clowny Knight. And,
Whether you want to or not.
whether you want to or not. All right, I'm holding you at Omnitrix point. I need a sound. I really need to get like a sound thing. But it's. Thank you. Anyway, so I know you go by Clowny Knight. May I ask what your real first name is?
I think I mentioned that in like the one video I made. It's Peter.
Peter. Well, nice to meet you, Peter. My real name is Brian. I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I apparently somehow know a lot of Brians and Chris's. I think you're Brian 6 or something.
Yeah, it's a common name. And actually, truthfully told, in my family, I'm Brian Jr., technically. So, yeah. And my parents are real original. You want to know how original? Check this out. My little brother, his name is Ryan.
Hey, wait a minute. That just occurred to me there. Wait.
Yeah, you see the joke there, don't you?
I do.
And then my dad, my half sister by my dad's family, her name is Brinley, so which is kind of like a female variant to the same name.
What is it? Like you need 2 more to complete the gauntlet at that point?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. The gauntlet of Bryans. I don't know what will happen when we get all of them together, but
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe my channel will finally be successful.
Hey, you're getting there.
I'm inching my way there. I'm determined. So anyway, I have this bad habit of not paying attention to the subs of other Yu-Gi tubers, so I don't get jealous or anything. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I may ask, how many subs do you have?
I think I'm hitting like 8.1 soon.
Like
8.1K.
Okay. I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure. I was pretty.
Yeah,
sure
there's 1/10 of a person. We don't ask about his circumstances.
Oh man. So how long have you been a Yu-Gi tuber, if you don't mind me asking, especially with your particular style?
I really have no idea. I think it was like I'd made some really, I guess, kind of. Honestly, looking back, and it's like, hey, these are pretty bad. But I think they was started when like communists started doing it, and I was also still in school at the time, so I'm just like, I'm bored. I'll make some of them. My friends liked them, and then I don't know what happened. People actually started watching them. Like, what's happening?
They just blew up. I think
it's like,
could you add an element of comedy to the replays?
Yeah, I think the original guy was still Konica, and it seems there's a fair amount of others that do it. I just don't know why I suddenly blew up compared to others. I think Mr. Tikamon's still one of the big boys, though. He just doesn't upload very much.
Well, I mean,
I don't mean to throw any shade at the man if he does that. Somehow watch this, though. There was a time where we both accidentally uploaded Buster Blader videos, and that was pretty hilarious. Yeah, his was like a day after mine. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start any wars here. It's like he was cool about it.
Yeah, I think there's enough. There's so many of us Yu-Gi tubers with all the different styles, and it's okay if some of us have some similar styles. I mean, like, because even if your humor is similar, it's not going to be exactly the same. So, how long does it take for you to make a video like the kind? Because I know that you kind of have like your character has that that Twitch voice thing kind of applied to it.
Oh, what do you mean, like the text-to-speech thing?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about like my accidental mascot Linkerdio?
No, the text speak thing. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a Twitch tool, right? Because I'm not too familiar. I think I've seen it mostly on.
I mostly use this one online. I found I think it was like TTS demo, but I just record it from there.
Okay.
So I kind of.
So what inspired a Clowny night, if you don't mind me asking, like a clown and a night?
Well, the short version is instead of a teddy bear like a normal person when they were little, I had a stuffed clown doll. So, in my creative wisdom, that was my 4-year-old self. I must have named him Clowny with a Y.
Okay.
So then that stuck with me as like an online profile. But then obviously it's just Clown with a Y. Eventually you realize it's pretty easy to get that name taken. And I think my one friend, when we were making like Halo profiles, he's like, just slap on like a word. And I was like, I don't know, what am I putting on? He's like, just do night. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of interesting, and plus, and now your avatar is literally like a clown that wears armor.
Yeah, it's Kefka, man. If you haven't noticed, it's
I really
the avatar's. Well, to be fair, it's a little small, but the avatar's Kefka.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know because I'm not too familiar with that some of that stuff. I mean, I know. I should like revoke my geek card or something, but.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know everything about every geekdom. It's like I had to consult a lot. I had to consult someone for all this Doctor Who references in the Time Thief video.
Yeah,
And she made me make a Twitter as a kind of forceful "you owe me."
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I didn't. You have a Twitter? Do I follow you on Twitter? I should follow you.
I have no idea, but it's like I put the link next to like my one friend's blog and like my YouTube channel. Okay. Speaking of, it's like we have to annoy him to actually update those. Sadly, because of the whole COVID thing, he's caught up on the backlog, so he only has one more to write, and then we're officially waiting to do more.
So wait, is the Clowny Night channel you primarily, or do you have like...
That is all me, but the blog is the one guy, Loki.
Oh, okay, so it's you and your friend then, the dude.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He writes this blog, and I've just been doing the channel. Oh, it's kind of two separate things.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like their own entities, so to speak.
In a way.
Yeah. Well, I also like one thing that I like about your channel is, and it actually inspired me to do it, is you make pop culture references, and like that was something that I started doing too, because I was like, and I was actually inspired by you to do that. So sometimes like when I make a dinosaur video, I throw like a Jurassic Park joke in there.
Oh yeah, if you want in for a good one, I've been seeing online. Apparently, it's a thing that someone did one of those epic battle simulators with like 300,000 chickens versus 100 T-Rexes.
Oh my goodness!
Apparently, the T-Rexes win. Big surprise.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? Giant lizard.
Although apparently, about like 400 of the if I remember correctly, 400 of the T-Rexes are downed though.
Okay, I'm a little bit like, by chickens.
Apparently, I mean, there's. What is it? They outnumber them 300 to 1?
I would think they would just open mouth and... Well, that was easy. Yeah, that's what I picture. But of course, maybe, Have
you ever seen a rooster? They're terrifying.
I live in Texas.
Fair enough.
I know. Little miniature velociraptor. Like...
If anyone ever doubts that birds are descendants of dinosaurs, they've never met a rooster.
Yeah. No, funny story with that, actually, is, speaking of that, I have a cousin. We're going to call her M. And
okay.
Just for, just because I don't know if my cousin particularly wants her name out there,
It's fair. It's the reason I'm calling my one friend Loki, for example. I'm just borrowing the blog names he gave us.
Right. But, so this is my fun story with that, because you mentioned the chickens and them being descended from dinosaurs. Fun story is my cousin, she goes to the side of my grandmother's house because that's what we do in Texas. Your cousins are kind of like your first freaking friends, especially when you live in the country and, out in the middle of nowhere. So we're all visiting grandma, basically, and my grandma has a little farm. Pigs, chickens, goats, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So the cousin goes on the side because she sees the little baby chickens, and she's like, I don't see the mom. I'm going to go pet one of the baby chickens.
That's where you messed up.
You already can tell where this story is going.
That's where she messed up.
Absolutely. So we're like, okay, well, she's over there. So I'm with my little brother and my other cousin, and we're talking about the game we're going to play outside. I think we were arguing about whether we're going to play like hide and seek or tag or some kind of catch game or something, or maybe we're going to have fight with sticks, because we're children, we do that at the time. And my cousin M comes running around the house, full speed from the side of the house. just right by the three of us, and we're like, what the heck was she running from? Then we look over, and that little chicken is still just
Yep.
and the chicken
Yep.
ignored us completely, still chasing my cousin. And we're all just in there like,
Everyone laughs about the Zelda cuckoo memes, but they're real.
or like in Yu-Gi-Oh, don't piss off the big roasters. And then, when they talk about Ra or any of the Fire King archetype.
You mean Mega Ultra Chicken?
Mega Ultra Chicken. So Clowny, what other stuff are you into, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm not really sure. I have to admit, a lot of my life outside of like editing and stuff is still mostly school and work because apparently I'm essential.
Oh, okay.
So, it's like I need to actually still get to it, but I don't seem to have the time. But like Loki needs to. I have the edge in Yu-Gi-Oh, but Loki has the edge in Pokemon, so I have to eventually actually breed a team for Sword and Shield so he can kick my ass as vengeance.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
I'm still
you kind of
pissed.
like Pokemon a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still pissed I got rid of Mega Evolutions. My Charizard finally got its 20-year dream of becoming a Dragon type, and they just took it away from him again. And they think this Gigantamax version where he's just big and fat is a compensation prize. I'm like, no, it's not the same.
Oh,
He was a damn dragon, and now he's back to being a fire-flying type where he has 4 weakness to rock.
Well, weakness to rock. That's news to me, actually, because I had no idea.
Yeah, well, fire and flying, the weakness doubles up, so if rock attack was 4 times the damage.
Well, that's news to me. Thanks for that heads up. I haven't messed with Pokemon since I was a kid, to be honest. Like, I had the Game Boy game, but, from, like, way back in the day. But, I'm old.
I mean, I think we all played those.
Yeah, the Game Boy games. Hey, that's a good question. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 29.
You're 29? Oh, I'm actually older than you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just turned 30 this like a week ago. So.
Oh, well, belated birthday. I think I still have about 3 months, and then I'm officially in the triple, and I'm in that decade.
Oh, okay. So I'm not that much older than you.
Not really.
Not really. Oh man, that's okay though. I mean, like, and plus, like, the cool thing about it is, like, in my mind is, like, because we're not considered young anymore, but we're not actually considered old either. We're in that weird middle ground now.
Yeah, the Twilight Zone. It's like we're not adults, we're not children. It's just like, okay, what's going on? It's like you're enough that like people think you're you think you're competent, but then you try to do something like no, you don't know what you're doing. It's like
it's kind of that situation, yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm an adult, but I'm not a young adult anymore, and I'm not like considered wise.
Of course not. We're still idiots.
Yeah. And of course, being a millennial, we still get shit from older generations. I know I do.
That's just the cycle of life. Give us about like 3 more decades, and we'll start complaining about whatever the hell they call the children next.
Right. I don't know about that, man. I kind of want to end that cycle because I feel like it's just silly. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's still, yeah, I think it's silly. It's just like, it's like, as funny as it sounds, like, oh, the old people don't know computers. I'm like, no, my dad's like a computer wizard. He shows me all this kind of stuff, and he laughs at me all the time.
Right. Oh, man. Like, actually, what was funny is I had the same situation with my mom when I was in high school. All right, she was like she knew all the computer savvy stuff, and I had no clue. And then now, because I've done this YouTubing thing, that I keep this YouTube thing, I've like, I'm the master now. Now I know all the crazy, fun computer tricks. Like, she still looks at my thumbnails and goes, "Huh?
How'd you make that?"
Yeah. Which is funny because I use PowerPoint to make all my thumbnails.
I mean, PowerPoint's pretty. It's like, believe it or not, it's pretty good if you just need something to there. I just happen to have Photoshop because it comes as a bundle.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and exactly.
Yeah, here I am flexing.
Yeah, well, you got to use what you can get access to. So, being like when I bought the computer, it came with like a Windows bundle. So, it came with like PowerPoint, Movie Maker, Word, the spreadsheet one, Excel. Yeah, it came with all that stuff. So I just use what I have, and thanks to a website called Pixlr, I kind of can do a lot of what you can do on Photoshop. Not obviously as detailed as you can do, but at least I can crop out my own monsters and make my own PNGs if I need to.
That's pretty much what you really need it for.
Yeah. That's literally all I want to do is I just need to make it a PNG so I can throw it in PowerPoint and then like make my thumbnails. That's literally all I do. I'm trying to think here about some. So you have a very interesting trick that I think is interesting, and I would love to know how you do this. Is how do you make like you'll throw like an anime clip or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the replay footage is still going, and you've made the anime clip like almost transparent. How do you do that? Do you do that in Photoshop?
What do you mean? Like the clips playing while the replay is playing?
Yeah, they're playing at the same time. It's like they're overlapped though.
It. I think I might know what you mean. If you mean like say like a clip in like the corner, you could try to. It's like at least in Premiere, it's it's like I think you have the idea of layers, right?
Yeah.
The Shrek reference.
Yes.
All right, moving on. But essentially, it's like the video has layers. You have it's like pretty much you just the first layer. I guess the base would be like the footage, and then up top would be the anime video. And as long as you just position it, and then as long as you edit only the base, any edits there would only reflect on that one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like really cool. And Premiere is what you use for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I went to school for that. I technically have a bachelor's degree, but it didn't do me any good. Everyone wants to abuse you for freelance work.
Yeah. I can relate to that actually. I have a continuing education degree in massage therapy of all things, and I can't even use it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the reason for on your end?
The thing is with me is I'm not very I don't have a very scientific brain. So so I have trouble passing the test. So I can do the physical aspect of it, but I can't do the part of it. Like for example, I couldn't tell you all the like basically you're almost practically like have to know as much anatomy almost as a nurse. It's ridiculous. And all I'm doing is like rubbing people. So it makes no sense, but the point is I can't remember all like the different tendons and things like that are in the human body.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. It's the human body. I mean, I did get a lot out of it. Like obviously, I know how a lot of things like
You know how to break a man physically.
I'm a little more familiar with the human body than I care to be.
Not in the fun way.
Not in the fun way. Exactly. Oh my god, man, that was like the worst experience. And then I switched over to get at the college I went to get a degree in 3D animation, and then the professor or teacher, whatever his title was, he left that school and
let me guess, everything was riding with him.
Pretty much, his whole program just like they put it on like the theater teacher to teach us how to do like.
If it's any consolation, the school I have a degree in straight up closed.
I was like,
okay.
Worst luck on the planet.
Yeah, it's like technically I have a degree from a school that doesn't exist.
Yeah, oh man, that's got to be freaking annoying. So So then you go to an interview or whatever, and they look at that and they go, "Well,
it's that weird school that closed, or it doesn't exist because we can't find it."
Yeah. So then, like half your employers probably don't even believe that you graduated.
It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. So, okay, here's a personal question for you, if I may ask. And you can choose to skip this one if you think it's too personal. May I ask where do you think you fall on the political scale? Are you a little more left-leaning or a little more right-leaning? If you understand that.
If there's anything I understand about this topic, you don't tell anyone jack shit because you'll offend somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've made it pretty open on I think here on this particular series and on my Twitter page that I'm pretty left-leaning politically, but I just figured I'd ask, and if you didn't want to answer, that was perfectly fine.
But to be fair, like, I will say this much, most of my views are just like, in my opinion, just common sense stuff. It's just like, okay.
Like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, it seems to be a very hard one for people to grasp.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that statement, and that one can be applied to both ends on that one.
Oh yeah, it's an election year. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll be. Oh man! At this point, let's just vote for Cthulhu. At this point, why vote for lesser evil?
I'm
sure he has our best interests at mind.
I'm just gonna write in Yugi Moto. That's a safe bet. Oh man, that's a horrible joke.
I mean, I think last election people unironically put in Harambe.
I may or may not, in one of the elections I voted in, wrote down Mickey Mouse.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Disney
Disney's
may or may not control us all soon, given enough time.
I mean, I've already saw a hashtag on Twitter about people trying to pressure Disney to buy DC, like DC Comics.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. Could you imagine? Because
they're getting there.
I know. Could you? You know what? We already know what they would do if they bought DC. They would just like, okay, well, we have Marvel, so now we're gonna put all the DC characters in Marvel, and it just wouldn't.
That would be a disaster, and I'm not even like super big on them.
I agree. It absolutely would be a shit show. Because like half of these heroes are from both of these franchises are based off each other.
On one hand, Deadpool would have a field day.
Yeah. Could you imagine like Deadpool and Batman in the same?
On the other hand, I suddenly want it. That's hilarious. See how long it takes for one of them to break the other.
Oh god. Oh man. Batman's just sitting there like, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
And then he realizes, oh, he can't kill him.
And then just Batman's like using him to like vent out his frustrations. You're just a less evil version of the Joker, so I'm just gonna stab you a bunch of times till I feel better. Takes out a batarang, just
Stabbity stab.
and Deadpool's just like, I better get a chimichanga out of this.
That's all he cares about.
Oh man, you know what's even funny is like I think I remember somebody telling me like Deadpool doesn't even like chimichangas. He just likes to say the word chimichanga.
I'd have to take your word on that again. I'm not. It's like I don't know too much about the comics.
Yeah, I watch a YouTube channel called Comic Storian. So basically, what he does is he like dramatically reads the story to you for like comics that are like a couple months old. That way, like, you know, they have a chance to get sold or whatever, and then, like, you know, if you like what he's doing and you want to know what happens next, then you can buy the new comics for the storyline. So that's how he does it. But it's very interesting stuff, and, like, you know, so that's where I get a lot of my comic book information right now because, you know, we're all trapped at home anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Well, no,
Sucks.
you're not.
Sucks.
If I may ask, what's your essential work?
I'm just like an assistant manager at a dollar store.
Ah, that makes sense. You might. They need you to make sure the place doesn't burn down.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, like you're in a leadership position, so that's how I looked at it. But you know,
no one listens to me anyway. But I'm in a position that exists so that way they have someone to blame.
Damn. Oh man, it makes me glad I don't work at Walmart anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, my friend worked there. He had tails. He had plenty of tails.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff that I don't care to repeat.
You see things. You see things in retail.
Oh yeah, and I don't mean just from the company itself. Just from I could tell you horror stories about the shoppers. So,
oh, well, of course you do. Anyone that works in retail has the horror stories.
I know. It's an experience. I'll tell you that much. So you like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon? Do you like any other kind of interest, like I don't know, Dragon Ball Z, Marvel, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm not really. It's like I don't know. It's like if it shows up on like a YouTube suggestion or something, I'll like watch something. I'll be like, okay, that's kind of cool. And this is like the 7th new form Goku has. I'm clearly out of the loop here.
You're like, when did he get blue hair?
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Is Super Saiyan 4 still a thing? Or is that just everyone's still hating on GT? I'm not sure what's going on. What's the thing? What's going down now?
I remember being a kid drawing Goku with blue hair, thinking, oh yeah, I'm coming up with genius, and then they actually...
And apparently you predicted the future.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Although I drew him with much darker blue hair, but you know, I was...
Give it time. He'll get there.
Yeah, that's the next form.
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
and then we'll have to call you a prophet.
I knew it. It's allowing me to tell the future. Oh man.
Oh man, oh man, what will happen next?
Let's find out. I'm just kidding. Oh man, I wish I
When
could like do like on the spot just tricks like that. Oh man.
Yeah, it's like those take a time. It's like you can kind of plan it out and maybe edit it later, but
Yeah, it's for and plus for this series though, like the my theme doesn't really apply. This is because it's called Behind the Screen, so it's really about obviously us talking as more as people, more and less as you.
more than my Harlequin persona and your hero thing here. Do we
Yeah.
have? Are we gonna start that dynamic here? Am I gonna be the nut job you have to stop?
What's funny is I'm on you. I'm sure you're aware of this. I'm on Team FDK. I'm a member on that team, that YouTube team, and there's a guy on there who calls himself the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Really?
And, yeah, and I've had people ask me like, when am I gonna have do a banter thing with him? And I'm like, the problem is him and I can't duel each other because he's a Duel Links player and I play the regular.
Ooh.
Game. Yeah. So
I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's like nothing wrong with that. It's just okay.
Yeah, our content can't overlap. That's
okay. So I don't have to kick his ass.
Yeah.
He's the Duel Links clown. I'm the real clown.
Exactly. And also, Clowny Knight kind of implies like doesn't necessarily inquire that you're like a villain necessarily. Like the name Clowny Knight.
There's the Black Knight that exists.
Yeah, and the Black Knight in Marvel is a superhero, so
you just can't win, can you?
I mean, although the truth is, like with a name alone, you can never tell who's a villain or a hero. Like, come on, look at Venom. He's like a villain.
He's more of an anti. I think he's more of an anti-hero these days.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm getting. Like, you hear the name Venom, you think, bad guy. And next thing you know, he's like saving cats out of trees and, stopping bank robbers and stuff. You're like, what the? But then you look at somebody like the name Joker, and you're thinking, yeah, he's probably a good guy. Clowns are out to make people.
Clowns
laugh.
are nice.
Yeah, and then he stabs somebody in the chest with a knife that's in the shape of a playing card or something. Or there's his laughing gas or his acid squirting flower thing. Like, hello Gotham, smell my flower.
Yeah, it's so hard to try to mimic Mark Hamill.
I know the dude's there's no one does it as well as he does. No one. I've tried so many times. Oh man. So I see you have some books on your bookshelf back there. Is that like a manga or an anime?
Apparently, it's a Rurouni Kenshin, and the reason I even have it is because one of my sister's friends gave me 1 through 24.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked it up. I'm like, there's only 4 issues I don't have. I might as well complete it. It's like I've read it. Don't get me wrong. It's just more like I don't really have it because I plan to have it. It's just like, oh, here's 1 through 24. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, oh, there's only 28 of these. I might as well finish it.
It's funny you say that because the same thing happened to me. Oops. With this.
Oh no. Oh god, I thought I saw it and it's there.
Yeah, it is there. It's not the worst book in the world, but
No, that goes to 50 Shades of Grey.
I have not read 50 Shades of Grey, and I actually.
The only reason I haven't read it, I just know Loki. I think a couple people in my group have read it, and then because I'm not sure you're aware of the dynamic of the movie nights we do, where it's just a massive free for all, and and the winner of the Last Man Standing, we just all watch a shitty movie. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's like we've seen the entire trilogy.
Oh my!
It was awful. It was awful.
Well, the thing with this one is I actually read the first one of my own volition because in high school I had most of my friends were female, and they were ranting and raving about this book. So just so I could understand what they were talking about.
And how'd that go?
I read the book, and it's not the worst book in the world. I mean, it's really not. It's not, and plus, like the whole vampire falling in love with a normal person dynamic. That's not a new thing. It's been.
I just know that the movie. I'm not sure if the movie did like the book just horrible thing, or it's just the plot in general. I just know it was one of the few movies that put my mother to sleep in the first 20 minutes.
Damn.
I was like, That's how my mom's like, I'm not getting. It's like it takes a lot to do that. I'm like, oh no.
Man, that's really funny because like out of the Twilight movies, the first one's actually one of the better ones.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the thing is, like the baseball scene is very well made. Like I don't know if you remember, but there's a scene in that movie where they're like, they're playing baseball, and like, they hit the ball.
I think I heard of it. They play baseball in a thunderstorm to mask their like power or something like that when they play it.
Because like, every time they hit the ball, it sounds like a crack of thunder. So the idea was,
Do the bats hold up?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, that's, well, science would say that if they were that strong, they wouldn't.
I'm just saying, I'm currently in a physics class. It's like, it's on my mind. I'm like,
yeah.
So where's the force in part 2? That bat must be made of, like, some sort of titanium alloy or some shit.
But yeah, well, the way, how fiction is. Like, fiction, in fact, don't often...
I'm just poking fun at it.
Oh, yeah, no, you wouldn't be the only one. I do, too. Truth be told, like, if I was going to rewrite the Twilight series, the thing that bothers me the most is that they sparkle. That's the thing that bothers me.
That is always something like, why is that detail there?
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess the lady who wrote it, I can't remember her name. I'm not gonna go look at it either. Stephanie something or other. I guess her thing was maybe the vampires would have been too scary otherwise. Is my guess maybe. And it's more of a romantic story, than it is a vampire story, if that makes any sense. So I guess that was what she was going for. But if I was going to go that route, I would have gone a different route with it. Like, for example, a lot of vampires in fiction have, like, pointy ears and fangs and, like, their eyes change color from normal eye colors. So what I would have done is, instead of them sparkling in the sunlight, maybe the sunlight makes it to where they can't hide their vampire features.
That doesn't sound as stupid all of a sudden.
Yeah, see, it makes a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Like, oh yeah, you can't hide that you're a supernatural monster if in the sunlight, so that's why that would make a lot more sense in my mind. So then, like, that maybe they get like the long fingernails that are all spiky, and the fangs and all that shit comes out, and they're like, oh crap, that would have been a better way to go about that in my mind. Of course, that's obviously hindsight's 20/20. All jokes aside. But yeah, that's how I would have done it if I was going to rewrite her story.
I wouldn't do that. You'd probably get flamed by all the diehards. They'll find you.
I would write it. I'd make a better story. I'm just saying.
Okay, you better get your pen name ready, man.
Yeah, because I'll get assassinated. But that's all right. I don't need to rewrite somebody else's book. I have my own.
I can't really see. Really? You have a published book. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I published it through Amazon, so it's like, the only thing about it is I don't really advertise it all that much, is because I suffer from dyslexia. So anyone who reads this is gonna know that real quick.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes like you'll see the word is C. S-I. Yeah, that kind of thing happens a lot in my book. So it's just, it is what it is. I can't help it. I'm partly dyslexic, and this is self-published, so it is what it is. So if somebody can put up with that stuff happening a lot, then more power to them. But so I'm not going to rewrite anyone else's book. I'm just going to continue my own. So that was my fun fact about me that a lot of people don't know. And I always like to share stuff like that. So is there any fun fact about you that maybe you wouldn't mind the Yugi tubing community to know?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think of anything interesting, because I'm pretty bland in hindsight.
Which is funny, because like on your Yugi persona, you come off as very like comedic and sarcastic. And
oh, I'm sarcastic. You don't have to tell you don't have to. I'll. That is there.
That's for everyone to know.
Yeah, I am. And apparently my humor is incredibly dry. But
I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's just the fact that I work and I'm still in class, but it's just like I don't really do too much. Mm-hmm. It's also because everything's closed right now.
Yeah, this whole pandemic situation makes a lot of things more difficult, I think. So how, outside of obviously you being an essential worker, has it changed your life? Like, has it impacted your life a lot?
Not really. The only thing it made it do is it turned all my classes online, and it's just like, oh no.
Well, there went my social interaction.
Oh, why must you cut me with words these deep? Why must you hurt me with facts?
Well, like, and first, truth be told, I'm a bit of a hermit anyway. So the only thing that is different from my life beforehand is I used to go grocery shopping with my best friend who lives in the same town as me. So, like, him and I would, like, we just go grocery shopping at the same time, so it wouldn't be as boring. And and now I can't do that because,
You gotta stay 6 feet away.
yeah, and I take things a little more serious than he does. So, like, he
Over in Texas, do you guys have to wear masks?
I don't think it's mandated at the moment, but like I said, I don't go out very often, but I do have a mask that I wear when I'm out. It's not like an official mask. Like, what that is, it's a
Do you know how horrible it is to try to get work done with a mask that's constantly breathing hot air in your glasses?
I'm fortunate I don't have that problem.
Yeah, this guy flexing on me not having to pay to see.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm partly colorblind.
That does. Thank you for that.
I can't see all the colors. You can.
Yeah, one of the guys in my friend group, I think it's like she should know we're all joking about him. I think it's like he can't see like red or green or something, some sort of scheme like that. So we're just like, hey, how's Christmas over there? And he's like, shut up.
In my case, it's blue. Yeah, blue's the color that gives me problems. Certain shades of blue I can't see. Like,
so
I
how's
can
the
see
beach?
Regular blue. Yeah, like if I'm on the beach I can see that, but I can't see like there's certain shades of like a tealish bluish green kind of color. I can't really see that. It just either looks blue or it looks green. Yeah, and then like certain shades of green, if they're light enough, they just look white.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is really strange, but it is what it is. So, I mean, I don't have any control over it, so
Genetics.
Aren't they fun? They come with all sorts of pain in the asses.
Meanwhile, my brother is the perfect genetics of the whole family, and I'm just like, look at the goblin before you right here.
That's how I feel about it too. Especially because, like, now that I'm 30, I've noticed that I am like, I'm starting to like lose some of my hair. Yeah.
Oh, let's not get me started. This hat's on for a reason. I am shamed. My hair, it's like, also, my hair doesn't grow out and like down like normal people. It grows outward like a really bad fro. There was a time, actually, that does give me a good story. I think it was like a long time ago, like more high schoolers. My brother and I had like a bet to see who would go the longest without having their hair cut. Mm-hmm. So his hair was flawless, the genetic that would just flow down, almost flowy hair where women even complimented him. It's like, what shampoo do you use and stuff? And I'm just sitting here looking like some messed up Einstein without the brains to back it up. So eventually, after like 3 months, my brother's hair was like down past his shoulders. Mm-hmm. Mine was like, I'm not even sure how it went, but it's just like, and then eventually our mom's like, all right, we're going shopping. Turns out it was not to go to shopping. She basically held us a gunpoint to say, your bet's done, you guys tied, this is the barber.
Yeah, shave.
And she realized both of us were too stubborn to like lose. She's like, it's like eventually my one son's hair is going to be all the way down to his legs, and the other guy's just going to be
It's going to be touching the roof.
Yeah, exactly. It goes outwards. Like it's going to touch the roof.
Yeah, which is ironic because in high school I got in trouble for having long hair. I'm not even kidding. I spent like 3 months in school suspension because I had hair.
As a hair.
Yeah, down to here. The reason why is because
3 months of suspension for hair.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely know.
Why?
I signed a contract with a company. I was working for a theater in my town where it was a Christian theater, and I played a Roman soldier in it. And part of the contract was you couldn't change your appearance. So I had long hair to get the part, and then I had to keep it long.
Okay.
I couldn't cut it. And my principal didn't like that, so
the school won out.
Yeah, so the school punished me by throwing me in school suspension. And then in my sophomore year, my mom threatened to sue them and the school decided that her threat was
Suddenly was not a problem anymore.
kinda. They said I had to put it in a ponytail, so that was
Yeah, that should have just been from the beginning, just compromise.
yeah. I would have loved to, but I also kind of like pissed off the principal with my like asking kind of questioning like why should I because it was stupid, and I still say that to this day. It is dumb, like
as long as you take care of the hair, it's fine. I just do know my brother was like, Pete, it was getting really bad taking care of all that hair. It's like I went through so much shampoo.
I wish I still had some hair. Like I'm still, well, I mean, I still have hair, and I have enough of it. Like when it grows out a little bit, like because what happened, the reason why my hair is the way it is right now is because I shaved it a little while back. Like I'm sure you guys they don't know because it's when I started wearing this. I actually shaved my head because I was, I wasn't sure how much hair I actually like. I wanted to know how bad the thinning out was, and so I just went ahead and shaved it all off just to kind of see, And
yeah, first thing I gotta do when this whole thing's over, I gotta shave this back. I gotta get my buzz cut again.
Well, I have clippers at home, so it's like it's not that bad for me. I can just go to the bathroom anytime I want and just clip it off. But that's why I did that, so because I was curious. But I realize I do have enough hair still, like I can comb my hair when it's longer again, and do something.
Cherish what you have.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm going.
Take it from me. Cherish what you have.
Yeah,
You lose it very quickly when you start losing it.
Yeah. So I'm going to my thing is when I grow it back, I'm gonna style it like I did before I started wearing the hats again, and then and then when it's just too far gone, I'm gonna just cut it all off. Just I'm gonna go full Vin Diesel and just nothing. That's how I'm handling it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Probably like 2 years. I'm like, all right, it's Diesel time.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is what it is. It's not the worst thing in the world.
I grow hair everywhere but my head.
Relatable. Oh,
my siblings call me Chewbacca.
Yeah, except you ain't got anything like right here where you want it.
Exactly, it's a pain.
Yeah.
It hurts. It's a curse.
Mm-hmm. And there are options. Like since we're on the topic of hair loss, there are options to fight it. But the thing is like they all cost money.
It's just like, oh my god, it's also expensive.
Yeah, it is. Like I actually looked into it. Like one of the options is like there's like a pill you can take, but it's like it's like $40 a pill or something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was like,
what the hell?
Yeah. Of course, I don't know. I haven't looked into Keeps or anything like that, any of those companies, but I know that it's like $40 was like a month or was what it's going to cost. And then like all it really does is it helps you keep the hair you already have.
Oh, okay, yeah, like maybe the 4 hairs that are under this hat right now.
Yeah, so those won't go anyway, for a while. That's really all it does. I know there are other options. Like there's like I have friends who are in cosmetology and stuff, so like they've told me like, oh yeah, there's like hair plugs or whatever. There's basically it's like they take hair from the back of your head and put it on the front, basically. And but you gotta like use a special shampoo, and it's a lot of maintenance. And then like there's also like you can get like fake hair. There's like toupees now that you can like glue to your head. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably the same thing. You probably have to do certain maintenance.
Yeah. There's one video where I found a guy who does it online, and he literally can't tell when he's done. But the thing is,
well, that would be the ideal, right?
Right, of course, absolutely. But the thing that he does is like he's already like you and I still have hair right here, right? So
not a lot, but there's some there.
Yeah, but in order for us to use what he does is obviously it's going to cost a lot up front, it'll cost you, a good one will cost you money up front. And then, of course, you'll have to constantly buy the glue, But the point of the glue is like every 2 weeks you got to have you have another fluid that helps you, like...
Take it off to refix it.
Yeah, so you got to take it off, clean your underneath, and, then you can put the glue back on, and then, and you got to do this every 2 weeks. But the cool thing is what I have seen about it is, so if it is an option for guys like us, is if you can afford the toupee in the first place, and the glue and the de-adhesive spray or whatever, it is you can do whatever you want once it's on. You can go swimming, you can go take a shower, go to the gym. Nobody would be the wiser. So that's kind of cool, but it works. But I think it's not practical for the current situation because I obviously still have hair and you still have hair. It works best if you're like completely bald there and it doesn't grow there anymore at all.
Right.
Or you'll have to shave. Yeah. So that's
not the shaving.
Yeah. So, but see, and obviously, like that's the other part of the issue is like the hair will start to grow back. So you'll have this little streak of hair still that, and it could have to, obviously I think it'd be a pain in the ass because like what if that hair grows while you have the glue on or something, So then you're like,
oh boy.
Like think about it. I'm sure you've pulled a hair out more than once where you're like, ow,
Oh yeah. I think I think everyone is.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting to know that there are options though. So if it is something like, like in my case, I'm probably just going to shave it off because that seems to be the simplest answer. Razors are the cheapest route.
Indeed.
Because you go to the razor, go to Walmart, you spend $12 for a decent razor or something, and it lasts you a while. So, and that just seems to be the easiest route. But I mean, if the cool thing is now there are options. You know what I mean? If somebody is subconscious about it, nobody has to know that they're bald except for you. So that's kind of a neat thing. Did I educate you on something that you didn't know?
Kind of, but that's like I've also kind of just accepted that fact. I'm like, all right, we'll give it like 2 years, and then here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Since turning 30, it has definitely become more. I've become more comfortable with the thought, especially because like when I read a lot of statistics, and like for example, I found out only 1/3 of men actually get to keep their hair for their whole life. Most men, by the time they hit their 30s, they start to lose it if they haven't lost it already. So, majority of men lose their hair. So, that made me feel a lot better about it. Yeah, I don't know if that helps you at all. I was uncomfortable with it at first, and then,
I got no one to impress anyway.
Well, truth be told, I actually, before this whole pandemic thing, I actually did go on dates, believe it or not.
How dare you?
I know, right? Be a Yugi tuber and date women? No.
That's not allowed. It's part of the contract.
It's part of the contract. No. Oh, then I'm not the only Yugi tuber breaking that rule. Oh, man. I've had quite a few.
But yeah, I kid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and plus, like, truth be told, I don't think women even care. I don't think they really care at all. It's actually,
I don't think.
Go ahead.
I was saying, like, I don't think like most would care in the long run anyway.
Yeah.
As long as you're, you just maintain your. I lost my train of thought. You're just not being a slop.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other part of it. Like, and plus, like, it's kind of cool nowadays if you're like a bald guy and you just rock a little bit of a stubble or something. A lot of people look good that way. Or now we have like stylish hat wear.
Yeah, this doesn't get very much mileage though.
I don't imagine so. Oh man, it's just the point is that like there's options. It's not so embarrassing anymore. It doesn't have to be. There's ways to be stylish with it now, and I think that's neat. And like I was saying, from my personal experience, it's better to be funny than it is to be good looking.
Because eventually, it's like if they're constantly laughing, their eyes are closed and they can't focus.
Aha! Ba-dunce.
It's like the drunk vision without the alcohol.
Oh man, I'm just saying from my perspective. Like I've gone on several dates with women, and the thing that I know that they like about me is I'm funny. I'm a funny guy. As exemplified in my skits.
And then you start bringing up the pyramid schemes. They're like, Did you?
But yeah. Oh man. So was it your idea to come up with since we're talking about the pyramid scene, since you mentioned that?
I'm kind of afraid where this is going. I mentioned pyramid schemes. You're saying it's my idea. I'm like, what did I do?
Do you remember I know you used the Buster Blader skit a lot. Especially for like when dragons.
The Buster Blader Committee.
Yeah, that's what came to my mind when you said pyramid scheme. So whose idea was that?
That's just another thing like that Link Cordio that became an accident, and for some reason dragons are on that ban list every damn time.
That is a weird.
So that's the problem. It just became so recurring because the dragon type just can't behave itself. There's a reason the committee exists.
There's always something that's dragon related. It's always moving somewhere.
Mark my words, Elpie's in hot water. From what I keep seeing.
Oh man.
I'm like, Elpie, you need to calm down. Look what happened to your brother.
I get so annoyed a little bit by that, like not the joke, by Konami themselves, because like they're constantly hitting dragon cards, and half the time I look at some of them and I go, but why though?
Well, yeah, like I think when we were having a ban list and I was talking to my brother, he was like, "Why Destrudo? It's a good card, but why?"
Yeah, that's kind of. That one was, I think, and the reason...
Like, yeah, it's just like, Destrudo was good card. It's just like, but was it ban-worthy? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt about it.
You pay half your life points, which apparently isn't a real resource anymore, because no one gives a shit, but...
Now people play, like...
And then you play Burn and laugh at them.
I cannot tell you how many games I have won because my opponent solemned one of my cards.
Oh, you're just sitting there, you're like, aha, you solemn, but I can still play through it. Now I can kill you.
Especially because I play Dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, we got a Dino Man in our group. Ultimate Conductor is always a bane. The card can just get and reverse the game just by sitting there. It's just like, hello, I've been summoned from the hand because he top decked me. Good luck.
You remember the scene from Avengers 2? Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. That's Ultimate Conductor Tyranno on everything in the game.
Oh, it sucks. And the worst part is that there are times it's like even back when I was like there would be times even when I had Ultimate Falcon, I was like, boys, watch this. So we would kamikaze his Ultimate Conductor into Ultimate Falcon because that seems to be my poster deck, and then he would just call the Haunted it back, and then he would put Survival of the Fittest on this. And now it's suddenly attacking twice at 4,500 attack. Well, it's mostly for, I guess, in Ultimate Conductor's case, it's more for that extra 1,000 attack. You're like, oh god. It's like, and we're dead. And we're dead.
And then, of course, like they play Solemn, like they'll play like Solemn Judgment or something on a card earlier in the combo, you know, and not knowing either.
You don't play Psalms against the Dinos, man.
No, you don't, because that just means it's gonna kill you faster. Because it literally, Dinos are the One Punch Man deck. They're just like, oh, I throw big Dino, and I punch everything. That's literally all it does.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all. I mean, I just play the other big lizards. There's people out there who like dragons. I play the older ones, the dinosaurs.
Then there's bird brains like me who play winged beasts.
I mean, everybody's got a type that they really identify with. I mean... You know, for me, I've always liked the big monsters. I like decks that fight, basically, preferably.
It seems like I'm attracted to like more combo, but not like making a big board. It's just more about like making a combo to break a board.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I like Dinosaurs so much. Is because they break boards. It's what they do.
I have nothing against Dinosaurs, but every time I see Ultimate Conductor, I'm like, God damn it! It's just like, and there he is.
And there he is.
There he is.
That's how I feel.
And then I'm seeing, I'm like, oh, cool, Attorney Code gave you guys a pill searcher. More, fix your drug habit, guys.
We Dino players out here popping
You guys have a problem, man.
That's awesome.
You can't prove me wrong.
No.
You also run so many pots. You know I'm right.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's funny as shit. Dinosaur players.
Now you know I'm right.
Problem.
Yeah, you need your pill fixed. You need your pot of extravagance fixed.
Oh man,
those aren't cheap things.
No, they're not. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my god.
Man, I tell you, it's like as much as I love seeing Raid Raptors doing things with the Samorglink and stuff, it's just like I kind of sit there and I'm like, man, if I go first, I am stuck leaning on Zexal, and I hate that card with a passion. I'm just sitting like, this boy got Argent Chaos banned, and I swear to God, if he gets more of my Raid Raptor rank ups banned, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm also sitting there like people are saying like, oh, Y-Strix needs to go. I'm like, no, it does not. It's not the problem. Stop it. It's like it's the main reason I honestly like my Raid Raptor deck more pure is because there are so many times I laugh when people are using the Raid Raptor. You just negate their Vanishing Lanius and they're kind of just sitting there like, So yeah, it's just like, come on, guys.
Oh, man.
My only wish for Raid Raptors as an archetype at this point is just give me some sort of defensive XCs or actually import my goddamn rank 7. It's been nearly 4 years. Where is it?
So did you watch the Arc V series? Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V? Since you brought up Raid Raptors.
It's like I did. It's like I kind of try to watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series just to like strip them for memes. I'll admit it. I'm one of those people. I'm an awful person. But I didn't even realize Raid Raptors was an anime archetype until like I just went to Walmart. It's like this was when we all kind of got it back in, and I like rebuilt like my old Disaster Dragon deck. But you know why that deck is not really a good thing to use at this point? Is it just leaned so hard on Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and the moment I'd hit the field, everyone's just like, it needs to die. Yes, you like all bodiless, like everyone in that free for all would just go like body snatchers in that movie. Like,
oh, man.
And then like I would literally have like the one guy in our group. He would there was one time he summoned a DDD Wars. Like, guys, I'm going to kill myself doing this, but I'm going to banish that so I can watch Beat cry. And I'm like, please don't. He's like, I already did.
Damn.
I kind of like in that era. I also at that point, my other deck was the Inca archetype, and it's as much as I kind of liked that Sun and Moon loop.
Oh,
and even though they got new cards and we're not under the link restriction anymore, they did not age well. I'm like, you guys missed a prime opportunity to retrain those. All they really had to do, they wouldn't even had to buff them too hard. This is the only thing I thought was like, how hard could it have been to just say, instead of just saying like if they're destroyed, instead it just goes to if this card is in your graveyard, revive the other. That way it's not as susceptible to like just anything in the game at this point. An old Solemn, nope, that ruins your loop. Call by the Grave will still ruin the loop, but you get my point here. It's like, come on, guys. I'm just sitting there when I saw I saw those things were revealed. I was actually like, no fucking way. They're actually redoing one of my old decks. And then I saw, okay, I don't mind it being Earthbound related. That's kind of cool. And then I'm like, oh, they didn't retrain the Moon Dragon or the Sun Dragon at all. I mean, they're already locked to a specific tuner. You could have made them broken and not like arguably. I'm not even broken, just better.
Yeah, just make them like free summon.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You look at like as much as I love it because I have a rocket deck. Like you look at Borreload Savage Dragon, you're like, that should have probably arguably had a restriction. Then we look at the Sun Dragon and the Moon Dragon. You're just like, all right, so they're locked to a tuner and they have not aged well. Let's revamp them. Nope.
Okay, so
we
rockets
got
are kind
hero
of
cards.
So rockets are kind of your
well, that seemed
meta deck, so to speak.
I guess like Raid Raptors are still like I guess the best casual deck I have just because that I don't know, like I wish I didn't have to lean on Ultimate Falcon so much going first if I can't get the Zexal, but it's just like, yeah, you want to know it doesn't last very long if I'm playing a meta deck against a meta deck on one turn, a Y-Strix with 2 little owls underneath them. It doesn't last very long.
I mean, actually, it's funny is that's kind of how like the Goki deck has to play right now. It's all about
Destroy Ogre.
Yeah.
Not Destroy Ogre. That's a shitty one. Giant Ogre.
Yeah, it's all about Giant Ogre. It's either you make Giant Ogre or you bust.
I mean, let's be honest though. Giant Ogre is a beast.
It is. I mean, it's like I said.
I still have some of the old Goki cards because I learned from the Raid Raptor deck. I was like, I need to make an anime deck because that deck would, because no matter what, they're always going to get at least some level of competency because you'll get so much support.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and Goki's being
that was the problem. Like, I still have some Goki cards sitting around, but I'm just like, and then that Goki Firewall thing happened. I'm like,
Well, the cool thing about Gokis right now, in my opinion, like the reason why I like the decks for any reason at all is just because
we need Goki Finisher so you can actually one punch.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get it soon. I think.
No, I think it's the Goki Destroy Ogre, aka that shitty Link 4 that we don't need.
Yeah, nobody uses.
Yeah, like I remember when I actually have a super old Goki video when they first came out, and I'm just like, you know how hard and annoying it was having all these comments when Goki Link started coming out, and the Nightmares like this build shit. I'm like, please look at the upload date. Like, please look at the upload date.
Yeah.
Please.
Like that's something that does. I can see where anybody would be annoyed with. Like, that's a YouTuber, is we all have to put up with people saying like, this deck is shit. And that's not how you play this deck. And then I'm like, look at the upload date.
Oh yeah, like it's like I had it on that Blackwing video, and they're like, "Where's Wystrix?" I'm like, guys, it didn't exist.
Yeah, not yet. Or like,
it didn't exist.
It's like if somebody was to go look at my Sky Striker video back when it was called Brandish, like, you know,
what the fuck's Brandish?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did I use a bad word that you'll have to censor out later?
I don't censor that. I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not monetized yet anyway, so it doesn't matter. The way
Fair enough.
So
I mean, I still use that word in moderation. Apparently, I still qualify if it helps.
I think the rule is that you can't use heavy profanity. Like, the idea is like you can't just be sitting there like mother, you know what I mean, just constantly cursing. Like, I think that's the one. I think that's kind of the rule. If you throw the F-bomb here and there, I don't think the algorithm picks it up at all. That's just what I think. Like, I also noticed, like, if I use music that's copyrighted, if I throw it at a certain point in the video, the algorithm doesn't catch it. Like, but if I use it recently I did the Dark Magician Tingy thing, and I did the whole kung fu fighting joke. I don't know if you saw that video.
I'll just do the quick tangent now. Believe it or not, I am working on that damn Tenyi video. Whether anyone believes me or not, it is being worked on. I swear it'll be uploaded some point.
Someday.
Just I have no free time at the moment.
But like,
it's getting there.
But I did the whole kung fu fighting thing as a joke, and obviously, and then that video got flagged. Like, YouTube was like, "Oh, you used music from, you know, this person, so we're gonna throw ads on the video, but the ads are gonna be for that person." I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not monetized anyway. I couldn't make money.
It is still one of the most disappointing things that I've had to deal with. That Time Thief video I did is actually not monetized for me because apparently the BBC is after me. I'm like, at first I'm like, God damn it. And then I'm like, I guess it's fair. I did use a lot of Doctor Who.
But when on one of my other dinosaur videos, I'd used the theme song from a '90s cartoon called Extreme Dinosaurs, and it's like the last replay in that line of video footage. But I only used like 20 seconds of it. Nothing. YouTube didn't catch it. So
well, now you admitted to it. They're on to you.
I'm not worried about it. The truth is, technically, if I'd wanted to fight it, I could. I mean, I don't use any footage that's more...
I'm not taking on the BBC for one video. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all, yeah. It's just, that's the only reason why YouTubers don't fight, is because there's no point. Like, we would win, technically. We could win by the law that are set up in the states or whatever. We could simply go, well, you know, according to us, that's free, you know, fair use. So it's not about winning. It's just that the cost of lawyers and, you know... all that stuff and all the hassle you'd have to go through, it's just not worth it. It's just let them have their 50 cents or whatever they're going to get out of it, because we're Yugi tubers.
Yeah, it's like, I hope the BBC ain't looking for big bank on this one.
Yeah, exactly. They can...
Because the funny part is that allegedly it said it was manually reviewed. I'm like, what? I'm like, some guy from the BBC actually watched this and then flagged it. I'm like, I'm not sure if I should be flattered or insulted. It's like someone at the BBC plays videos and was looking up Time Thief videos.
Somebody that works there is also a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Yeah, apparently.
And they were like, how dare you? That's my company.
Exactly. I'm gonna shell out. Hey, check out this plebe here.
How dare
He's using Doctor Who clips based on a deck on Doctor Who.
Actually, you know what's funny is I started doing, like... I think one thing that I've also done to kind of circumvent that and learn from other people is, like, it's okay to still use some of that stuff, but, like, you don't have to use necessarily, like in my case, because I'm on screen a lot more than you are. So in my case, like, when I did the Time Thief video for my channel, I don't know if you watched this one, but I did, like, a whole Future Ben character.
Mm-hmm. And you mean from the show? I think that was, right?
Yeah, that was what I actually played with that. I used Rick Ben. as I call him. So this is future Ben 10,000 of YGO, and he's based off of Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh no!
Yeah. So like,
Did you turn yourself into a pickle?
No, I didn't. I just was like drunk.
You missed the opportunity.
I thought about it, or like turning into like any Yu-Gi-Oh monster that like like references a pickle or
Hey
whatever.
Morty, I turned myself into a Red Eyes.
Check it out. Anyway, yeah, but like I have the watch or whatever. I have a lab coat on, and I'm sitting there like drinking. Well, I'm pretending to drink alcohol from a flask. I had a flask, and I'm sitting there like pretending to drink alcohol from it, and I'm sitting there like scan the damn room or whatever. Like having the
Take
watch.
the top card from their deck, Morty.
Yeah. That's like it was like
Negate the spell, retrograde. Attach it to me, Morty.
Yeah. But like, and then like the watch is like, warning, time paradox imminent. So I'm like talking to the watch. I don't. That's something that's new to the channel. Is I've been doing is I use like voice clips so I can make it so the watch talks to me. So that's something that's new on my channel.
The only thing that I've seen to make talk to me is that Linkerdeo, which as we know is my accidental mascot.
Yeah. I still get a giggle out of that. Like the Kappa video is fucking hilarious to me. You're like, clown, what is that? Some new shit called Kappa. Oh man. Oh my god. And then like you made the Karibo like the king or whatever, and the clowns like entertaining him. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I did mention it. Keeps popping up, but like I do have to eventually make a Karibo video. But I said like, we'll hit 10K. If I somehow do it, then I'll do it.
You know what's funny is like the Karibo actually has a very interesting like. It has some interesting line of cards. I think. Like I don't know if there's a way to break that, especially like with. Monsters, but
I did like Kariborn. If you have a lot of Karibos in your grave, looks like an interesting idea to play.
Well, I mean, like also like I was thinking about Multiply with Link monsters, like the
oh yeah, well yeah.
You tribute a Karibo and like, oh look
at all these tokens. Oh wait, that's right. Firewall's banned. Well, we can't do that for good damn riddance. I'm sorry. Whose idea was to make Firewall?
I don't know. Do you ever feel like there's sometimes where like you'd like to meet the guy who creates certain Yu-Gi-Oh cards and just
I mean, the problem like it's not like. I'm not really gonna. It's not like I want to beat them up. It's just more of a. How do you feel? Was this intentional? Was this an oversight? Did you really think Firewall is accidentally going to be this broken? Did you really have to make it 2 monsters?
Maybe
it's the same right now. I will admit one thing though. Mm-hmm. Coming from a guy that has like a Fan Night deck and saw Bardish banned, there's still people that hate on that. But we're gonna blow past that right now. But it's just like, all right, Bardish's conditions. He was first off a Link 3 and 2+ Dark monsters. Mm-hmm. Whose idea was to not learn from Bardish and make 2 effect monsters on that damn Predaplant Link. Just saying. Like if that thing can run rampant, I can have Bardish back at 1. That's just what I'm saying. I am a bit biased on that, but am I wrong?
Not in my opinion, but I also look at like certain Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I'm like,
oh yeah, Red Eyes Dragoon. That's its partner in crime. I'm like, all right.
I wanna meet the guy
loaded.
who there literally like. There's a part of me that wants to meet the guy who came up with that card, and like punch him in the nose. Just
no, it's just like, all right, we get it. You like Dark Magician and Red Eyes, and arguably Red Eyes needs the help. That is still the biggest sin when you compare Red Eyes support to Blue Eyes support.
Yeah.
How hard was it to give them some sort of themed melody? And then make Red Eyes Alternative slap itself down the same way regular Blue Eyes does. There's no damn reason. And and another thing that I always seem to bring up when I get on my Red Eyes rant, Lord of the Red is a level 8. It is better to use in Blue Eyes than Red Eyes.
Yeah.
Why? And then some idiot forgot how Geminis work, so you can't even fuse the Arcfiend Skull Dragon like Black Skull version 2 with Red Eyes fusion.
Yeah. The other
it's
thing
like, alright, so either I'm running Vanilla Skull and hope I don't draw it, or I'm not running the Arcfiend Skull Dragon, or I'm using Dragon's Mirror, maybe.
Yeah. Like, they really messed up with Red Eye support, I feel like.
You can tell Konami's owned by Kaiba.
Right. Which is funny, because my watch in my skits is Seto Kaiba. Like, I literally take sound clips from the show, and for example, there's in my newest one where I had a Blue Eyes deck come up, and I'm like trying to.
Yeah, I think I saw that come up in like suggestions.
Yeah, it was like, all right, it was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to tame a blue eyes white dragon. So you just hear Blue Eyes' roar, and then you see me fly on the camera, and I'm like, I'm gonna tame you, you son of a. And then the watch says, oh, must you be so dramatic? And I'm like, well, no one asked you. So yeah, I take little sound bites of Seto Kaiba from the show, and I make him. I can make him say comments like things like insults. Like I have a sound bite of the "you're a fourth-rate duelist with a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck" or something like that.
I'm pretty sure I have an image meme joke about that. If I can find it, I'll send it over before we conclude.
And I also
it's him just yelling at this, like, I think it's like must be from a Duel Links meme that someone did, and it's just him like at a table screaming at this little girl.
Yeah.
You saw
it. It's still funny, man. It cracks me up every time I see it. Oh my god, that shit's gold. And then like the other one I have a soundbite of him saying "dork." Like that's the 3 sound bites I have. So I basically have Kaiba.
That's pretty much all you need for Seto Kaiba. You could probably remake his dialogue with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh yeah, absolutely. I can totally play with his dialogue. It would not be hard at all. Just to take like little, like just every time there's a show, just like listen to him talk and just kind of cut it out and stitch it together. I easily could make him say something. Like I could make him say something worse if I wanted to.
Oh, we all can. The power is there.
And with my janky ass programs, like how funny is that? Like I literally have I don't remember what it's called. Let me see here. It's called Mixpad Multitrack.
I mean, it wasn't the Rocket video. I edited Revolver to sing the Kitchen Gun song toward the end.
There you go. So,
it was surprisingly not as annoying as I thought it would be, but it is kind of annoying getting those voices to sync right. The lips.
Yeah, but it's still kind of cool though when you pull it off. Excuse me. I'm trying not to burp into my microphone here, because nobody wants to hear that. Oh man, but like that's the really neat thing there is on that video is like that was something that I had to do is actually I had to go find because what you can do with the program, my sound program, is I can literally plug in a video and it'll just transform a video into an MP3 sound file, and then
you use the MP3.
Yeah, and then I use the MP3 and I snip it in Windows Movie Maker, and then voila, that's how the watch talks to me. So that's my new little skit there. Which I mean, the skits are fun. They add. I think that's one of the things that I think will help my channel grow. Is for me personally is that's how I get to add an element of humor. Like you have your memes for your replay footage, I have skits.
Yeah, I think it was Loki wanted to do this as an idea. It's like, have we ever thought of live streaming this? And I'm like, are you sure it's a good idea? Like live streaming our movie nights. I'm like, it's like, we sure about this one, guys? It's like, I can't wait. It's like, I wouldn't be able to wait and see everyone commenting on our misplays.
I mean,
it's like this doesn't work, and we're like, the whole format doesn't work. It's a massive free for all with like 6+ people most of the time.
Oh my goodness.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not designed to be a 6+ free for all.
No.
Oh, but it is funny though. Like as much as it's funny though because these meta, like a more meta deck that builds these big ass negate boards. They don't do well in a massive free for all. Believe it or not, you blow through your ammunition so fast, which is kind of hilarious. How the meta of our free-for-all decks are just decks with stupid resilience or massive one-punch power.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, like, the meta decks are meant to fight 1v1. They're not meant to fight.
Oh, yeah, so that's the funniest part when, like, sometimes people ask me about my tech choices. I'm like, you gotta understand, my mind's, like, usually in a completely different space because I'm not playing in the meta because, for starters, everything's closed, but also, for some reason, there's, like, almost nothing on the East Coast, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird because Yu-Gi-Oh's like all over the.
Like Loki's in Philadelphia, and he's just like, there's like nothing here Yu-Gi-Oh related. Like he's able to find Pokemon things, he's able to find Magic things, but Yu-Gi-Oh, nope.
You gotta order that shit, huh?
Yeah, it's just like you find it like in the corner, tucked away in a store. It's like, yeah, we carry it, we carry that. It's just
Don't judge us harshly.
Yeah, don't judge us harshly. We carry that. It's just like, but that's what I'm here for. Ooh.
Yeah,
You do it. All right, get your shit and get out. We don't like your kind.
they just turn into Walter from Jeff Dunham. Hey, that's right. Get your shit and get out.
This guy doesn't play the superior card game Magic. Because guys, let's just all behave. Let's all be friends.
Actually, my newest video is a friend of mine who talks about how she plays Magic the Gathering and now she's so invested in it she'll never come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like...
I mean, let's be honest, card games are not the cheapest thing. You gotta kind of pick which one.
Yeah. And I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as it is an expensive game too, it's not as expensive as Magic the Gathering. And
we all like I think I looked it up as a joke. Like every card game has their expensive cards. Pokemon, I forget what they have, but I'm sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's all Palooza levels. That one, it's like, and then I look at Magic. I'm like, all right, that's also Alphalooza levels. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, with Magic,
it's like as much as they say, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's expensive. I'm like, you guys have your own. Although the one, I guess, semi-legitimate one is everyone sees these big negate boards. Like, who would want to go into Yu-Gi-Oh knowing that exists? And I'm like, I understand why you guys like your mana systems, but sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh's charm is that.
Well, my response to the big negate board is, that's okay, I have Big Chomper.
Well, we also have actual answers to those kind of things now.
Yeah, I mean, like, and also, like, I was actually talking about this with on the segment where I did this, but with Slim. Is Yu-Gi-Oh, from my perspective, is it seems to be you either make yourself go super plus or you make your opponent go super minus.
Yep.
So, like, yes, we have, like, the Pendulum, where, like, the deck, as an example, where they throw, like, a giant board with a bunch of negates, and that's their uber plus.
Yeah.
And then you also have decks like a lesser, or like the Dinosaur deck. We'll use that as an example, where it's, like, the complete opposite of that. The Dinosaur deck's goal is to make you go minus.
It's still my personal belief that if Pendulum Summoning just wasn't allowed to vomit from the extra deck in the very first place, we would not have hated that mechanic as much as we did.
Yeah.
That is still my firm belief.
That's actually one of my
like at that point, it would have just been a massive go hard, but you what's the term? High risk, high reward? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, it's instead I'd be like, all right, I broke their board with Revolution Falcon. Crap, they have their scales still. It was fun. Yeah, like, why does this exist?
Yeah.
Although I do have to admit, though, the beautiful thing about playing Raid Raptors when Pendulum, like, and that Pepe deck was still alive. Granted, I did not win a lot, but oh god, it was so priceless summoning Revolution Falcon through those negates and just be like, all right, I won. You have like 5 special summon monsters, and Revolution Falcon just tears it up.
Man, I remember.
I'm not even joking. Revolution Falcon's my favorite Raid Raptor. As much as people are like, oh, all you do is Ultimate Falcon. I'm like, no, I'm the opposite. I go second, summon Revolution Falcon, and usually win off that.
Attack everything.
It just attack everything. Exactly. It's a beautiful concept.
I mean, there's a reason Dinosaurs did it.
Oh yeah, Revolution Falcon Ultimate Conductor. They must have taken the same class.
Hi, welcome to my kill the opponent by attacking them
by yourself.
Yeah,
it's like by yourself.
I'm Professor Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning.
Back in my day, I was banned.
That's like the first.
Then those madmen let you guys back at 3, yeah, and I haven't been able to do anything. Power creep's a bitch, children.
You sound like Cleveland from Family Guy.
That was what I was going for.
That's what you sounded like to me. You're like, and that
I gotta stop taking a bastard Peter shenanigans.
This is nonsense. Or however it is he talks, like, you get what I'm saying. Oh my god. But like, yeah, like, and the professor of that class would be like the Blackluster Soldier, because he was like the first monster that like was
I think he was the first one that was able to attack multiple times. I could be wrong.
I'm sure there were like smaller monsters that could do it. Like, I don't know.
I think the first one was Hayabusa Knight.
I think Hayabusa Knight might be the first monster that could attack more than once. But he only had like a measly 1,000 attack points.
No. That's why back in the day you ran equip spells. Remember those?
Yeah.
How they were actually good back in the day. And then nowadays it's either you're running Noble Knights or you're not running equips.
Yeah, or you're playing you're using Isolde with the broken.
Oh yeah, you just need your premature burial. Living fossil.
Yeah.
Now, that was a joke. I'm very well aware living fossils much more balanced and not stupid like premature burial. It's like, yep.
It's still a free monster from the graveyard.
And we know what that means under links.
Link off another one. Just
Hey boys.
That actually, I find interesting about the links is that they have their ease of summon is really interesting, but I've noticed that their attack stats don't match like the cost of their.
Well, I think that was supposed to be the idea with their ease of actually bringing them out.
Yeah, like I guess that was Konami's try way to try to balance them out a little bit. Like, could you imagine, like in my mind, like Nightmare Phoenix should be like.
Meanwhile, Firewall Dragon.
Yeah. Nightmare.
I really did laugh. I'm like, it took one set for them to break the new mechanic.
Yeah.
Granted, it was mostly one monster, but it still made me laugh.
Right. And then
I'm like, man, oh man, it took one set for this mechanic to become stupid.
My hateful thing with Yu-Gi-Oh and for the Link mechanic was when Spirals were abusing it. Like that was like, I skipped that tournament. I went, I'm good. I'm not because I'm in Texas.
I mean, as cool as it was that Spirals actually had something to do with all those monsters now, you accidentally broke them.
Yeah.
Very badly.
And now
yeah, I think
Spirals have to pay for all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly.
Like Spirals are in trouble now because of Link monsters.
But you literally have no idea how pissed I was with Lynx because obviously Y-Strix wasn't a thing, and I'm just like, yeah, this is fun.
The thing that I hated about Lynx was, well, sort of, is that they limited the other extra deck monsters. That was the thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
But
meanwhile, my brother, being the smug punk he is, he's just like, I don't give a shit, I run Necros.
I don't even need an extra deck.
He's like, I'll abuse the extra deck. It's my bitch.
It's just there for tribute fodder.
Yeah, and all he keeps saying is like, I need more unicorns. I'm like, you're not wrong. It's like, you're not wrong.
And then now we have the Dragma archetype that's coming out that's going to be like that 2.0, basically. They're like, yeah, the really interesting thing about this archetype is it's the anti-extra deck, basically.
Yeah, which is why I'm joking. Like, I should start maining rituals. It's like if Dragma becomes a thing, I'm just gonna bring back. Like, I'm just gonna start maining ritual decks.
I think the smarter thing with that deck is just to have a deck that uses the extra deck but doesn't rely on it.
Yep.
Like for example,
that's one of the reasons Loki really likes his Dark Lords.
Yeah, they have the extra deck. They can use it. They just don't lean on it.
Yeah, and I swear he's the only person that's not upset that they're trying to make people use Dark Lord Morningstar. He's like, it's literally Lucifer. It's your boss. Do it. Yeah. He's like, the Link makes it stupid easy to summon.
My favorite thing from the Dark Lord when they first came out was I was a Lightsworn player at that time. So like,
did you try to hybrid them?
No, I would literally I liked playing against them because then they would throw their Dark Lord Lucifer out because that was one of the variants, and then I would throw out Michael and just banish it and be like, ha, that's right. That's right.
The lore matchup. The lore matchup is real.
I just went like, that's right. I just went biblical on your ass. Oh man, Lightsworns are fun that way. But although Lightsworns actually.
All right, here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, there's your cat. What's your cat's name?
Oliver. My sister apparently had a habit of bringing us like stray cats she found, and this was the one that
bonded
liked
with
me.
You? Yeah.
Yeah, that liked me. So now he's mine, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I got my cat Cece. I don't know if you've seen him on my channel, I'm sure, or if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen him. He's cute, but he's an asshole, just like your cat is now sharing his.
There's a reason my edit sessions can take a while.
Because he's like, love me.
Oliver, turn around, say hi, be nice, or just show them your butt. Okay.
He's just like, nope, I'm bored now.
Yep.
But like my cat Cece, like yeah, he likes to do that. Although he gets mad because I won't let him on the desk. So I'm like, no.
I'm doing important things right now.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
He got real mad because
don't judge me.
In the wintertime.
He's staring at me like I'm not. Like he's staring at me. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, shut up.
And in the wintertime, like, I won't let him in my room at all. Like, I literally will, like, close the door and say, nope, sorry, you have to stay out there. Because
why does he have to stay out there?
Because the laptop is warm, and if I'm asleep...
Oh, he attracts to it.
Yeah, he'll lay on the laptop because it's warm.
It's like, I gave him a blanket to the side. He's usually chill on the blanket.
Yeah, I don't have enough space on my desk for that. But I mean, that's all right though. He's still a young cat. He's still learning, and then like I still have to use the squirt bottle on him for him to learn. Like, hey, you can't just do certain things. Yeah.
You see, this guy was easy to kind of condition because apparently he doesn't like getting picked up. So whenever we do something stupid, we just pick him up and we just hold him for depending on the offense, the offense of his crimes. We would just hold him for longer. He'd be like, and I'm like, no, you know what you did.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be hugged. It's like you have to be hugged higher than you like.
Yeah.
And then I'd put him down. Then he'd do it again. And be like, all right, what have we learned? Back up.
Till he's like, oh, if I do the stupid, they pick me up the way I don't like. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So he was kind of easy to condition that way.
Yeah.
Well, not even condition, just kind of like tell him, like, okay, you got to stop, like, tearing up the couch, man. Like, that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not a cheap couch.
Yeah, that's what we had to do with the squirt bottle mainly, is because he wanted to like knead on things he wasn't supposed to. So
yeah, and then I also get him like those actual knee things that they're supposed to do, and it's never used. That ever.
Luckily, CC really seems to like the one he has. He has like a little like pole with like rope wrapped around it.
Yeah, we have that. Guess what? It's doing nothing. No one uses it. Not my cat. Not my brother's cat. Not the one cat my sister actually took with her. No,
actually,
none of them use it.
my cat
none of them use
loves
it.
that thing. Like since he
You just need a good cardboard box, and that's apparently the mystical wonder.
Actually, the cat they love that too, which I find really weird. Like it's like CC just wants to tear it up. I've also had to hide the toilet paper from him though because he wants to tear that.
And that's why you got to align it. That's why you got to align it so if they try to knead it, it won't go that way.
The one thing that I've done with that is like we have a little cabinet by the toilet, basically, where we keep like drainer fluid and all that stuff in the bathroom. So now we just keep the rolls of toilet paper in there and just close the cabinet door. And he's like, I don't have thumbs. So,
I don't know why that just reminded me of the one time like we were playing like the group. I guess my group. We were playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the table, and that guy. He hops up. We were also like we were having alcohol. Like there was some alcohol at the time, but the funniest thing is that it was clear. So I guess he thought it was water, and things went. Oh, he like sniffed it, and it was I wish I had a camera because his face just went straight up like he had his thing. He's just like, and he just jumps off and just avoids us for the rest of the night.
He's like, what is that?
Yeah, he just straight up avoid us for the rest of the night. He's just like.
The cat's just like,
oh man.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know why, but it's like it turns out he's not a fan of vodka.
Truth be told, I'm not either, but that's just for a completely different reason. I got drunk at a.
Oh, you're telling me about the time you nearly died? Yeah, we've had those. We've had those.
Yeah.
But let it be known, and and in case he ever finds this, I'm going to use his name from the blog, Butcher, our Dino Man. Mm-hmm. Just remember, Butcher, if you see this, I won.
Damn. Oh man.
Oh yeah. There was a night where I guess he thought I couldn't go back and forth, and he's just like, "Hey Pete, I'll go shot to shot." And I'm just like, "We doing this?" He's like, "All right." And I knew I'd no work the next day, and was like, "All right, we doing this." And then given time, he's like, "Pete, I feel awful." I'm like, "Ryan, I don't feel very good myself, but are we still going?" And he's just like, "You bitch," and I'm like. And I'm like, no. And then we do one more shot each. He's like, Pete, I think I'm tapped out. I'm a bitch. And I'm just like, well, I'm not. And I just did another one. And then he's just like, Pete, why?
No, my story is a lot
dumber. And then of course we have the repercussions of our actions the next day. And then I just get a message at like 10 a.m. You won.
You won.
You won.
If he could talk, you would hear the
it's just like you won
of death.
That's all I said. You won.
It's like you won. My story with vodka is a little bit silly because all right, so I had some friends when I was younger that were from Canada. So in Canada at 18 is when you can start to drink. So even though
we're the backwards guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the rest of the world is just ahead of the curve on so much stuff compared to us, but I won't go into that just yet. But this, they're from Canada, so they were like, okay, we're gonna throw a party, invite a bunch of people over, and my friend turned 18, so and I'm a couple of years older.
You know what that means?
Yeah, well,
you need to visit death's door when you legal at drinking age.
Yeah,
that's just tradition, apparently.
Apparently, well, I mean, and he was one of the younger people in our friends group, so I go to his birthday party, and like I said, his family's from Canada. So they're like, screw it, we're Canadian, we're not Americans, so we're gonna drink. So we go over there and we have a party. They have a pool party or whatever, and obviously they're not just serving alcohol, they're serving food. So my dumb ass gets a piece of chocolate cake that's like almost as big as
oh, you idiot! Cannon. You're supposed to eat bread. You're supposed to eat bread.
I ate chocolate cake, a giant ass chocolate cake, a slice of it.
You fool! It was supposed to be bread to balance it out. It's supposed to absorb.
And then I had like 3 shots of vodka and a beer, and then...
And how'd that go? Did it go as well as my story, where I won?
I ended up on the toilet, but not puking. And I was there for a while. So there you go.
Was it your best friend for that night? The porcelain throne?
The porcelain throne. I was the king for a night there. Pretty much. I mean, I didn't spend the whole night there. I actually mostly spent the morning because I didn't sleep the night before.
It's the morning that hits you.
Yeah, well,
that's when you realize you made mistakes.
Which is funny is because like that happened like after I started to sober up and everything, and then I had to go take people home at like 7:00 in the morning.
You're like,
so I've just sobered up. My butthole is basically on fire, and
from the.
And I'm having to take people home who are, still hammered. And they're like, in the back, and they're like, oh,
I am perfectly fine.
I'm perfectly fine, yeah.
Hand me your keys. You're not gonna hand me your keys.
And I'm starting to get like a migraine or whatever. And the only good thing that happened that night for me is that I got to see a cute chick's bare ass. So a buddy of mine and I were flirting with the same
Was
chick.
the chocolate cake good?
Yeah, actually it was. It was really nice. But it tasted great. But the friend of mine and I were flirting with the same chick, and she decided it would be funny if she had each of us hold one of her bottoms, and then she walked away. And we were like, because it was like the string bikini bottoms. And
man.
And the two of us were like holding this thing on each. We didn't realize what she was doing. She was like, here, hold this. I'm like, okay. And I'm like talking to another friend over here, and then you just
have the mouth. You just have the mouth drop. It's like that happened.
Kinda, because I was 21, like exactly, and I was just basically I'm talking to friend B over here,
and then you turn around and you're like, wait, what?
And then and I see her walking forward, no bottoms, and me and my other buddy are holding them, and we're like, oh, I think these.
That's the thing we have now. Can you make it into a hat?
And then, of course, she walked back, and she was just like, I'll take that, and she put them back on, and it was just like, that was the end of the whole thing, and him and I are just kind of like, kind of laughing, but it was nice, full moon, so,
My experiences involve restraining orders, and what are you doing in my house?
Yeah, and in this case, it was like, she told us to hold the string, and then she walked forward, on purpose. Probably to get that, the jaw hit the floor reaction, which she kind of got. But in my case, for us, it was more funny than it was like, like, don't get me wrong, she was pretty, she had a nice backside, but it wasn't like, it was just more funny than it was of a sexual experience. So that's my funny story with vodka. I had to drive people home after I was sober and my butt was on fire, and then I saw a half-naked pretty girl. That was my story.
Well, aside from my victory, it seems it went better.
Ish. Although I couldn't sit right for the rest of the day. I'm sitting there like, oh. My insides felt like they were on fire. So that was the other half of that. So, yeah, you take your wins where you can get them. I know. Just
remember, Butcher, I won.
And I saw an ass.
I'm just saying. I just know that night was so bad that both him and I just haven't done another one in a long time.
Yeah.
We're just like, no, we ain't doing this again.
Well, now we're all in our 30s, so we do that now. It's like, why?
We're actually visiting death's door.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper's like...
Yeah, the Grim Reaper's like, it's you idiots again. It's not your time.
Go back. It's like,
Go back. Stop drinking so much, you idiots.
You idiots. They, like, hit
Eat some bread.
He, like,
Drink some water.
He like hits you in the head with the other side of the stick.
Bonk.
Like, no, go back. And you're like, oh.
Go back. It's not your time.
Come back and
I will come for you.
I will let you know. Okay, stop knocking on the door.
Stop blue balling me, death.
That's like the millennials like tagline. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, at least when I die, my misery's over. Oh.
I mean, it's not wrong.
No, not wrong, technically. I just find that funny that our generation has such an...
It's associated with suicide and depression.
Yeah, like our whole generation has that weird, like, love-hate relationship with death. It's very strange.
And then you have to explain that to people when when you accidentally let your power level slip. You're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's not what I meant.
I definitely know that. Yeah, I definitely know there's jokes I can make with my cousins and my siblings and my friends that I cannot make with my parents and my grandparents, because they look at that and they're like, how dare you? You know what I mean?
We need to get you to a therapist.
Yeah, exactly. They think like, oh my god, you
need Jesus.
Yeah, therapy, Jesus, like Jesus in the grandma's case. She'd be like, you need to go to church.
But I can't, Mom. It's locked down.
Or in my case,
the Pope canceled Easter, Grandma.
Or in my case, I might look at her and go, I can't, Grandma, I might burst into flames. And then she's like, what?
Yeah, you start to singe a little bit last time I was there, and I'm like, it's probably a bad idea.
Walked in, started smelling bacon, and looked down at my arm. Oh, it's me.
Oh, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Okay.
Okay. Well. Hail
nice.
Satan. Sorry.
Am I delicious? Not really. No, it's not bacon, everybody. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Tastes more like veal.
Oh, God. But yeah, like, so, needless to say, and I actually have a very checkered relationship with religion and all that stuff, because like I'm not a Christian anymore, so, and you know, I'm not gonna...
That sounds like getting a Jesus.
Yeah, according to Grandma, that's the
that, or you need Odin.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going with the Norse ones. They seem to have something interesting going on over there. Or Greeks, I'll take them.
Hey, if you die in battle, you get to chill with Valkyries all the entire life. There's a reason why Loki's Loki. He wishes for more Nordic support. He has his shitty Valkyrie deck. He wants to do it. But every time he's just like, why does this deck brick so bad?
Like literally, Konami just said, you know what, we're gonna give you a Rhoda, but it's gonna be in the form of a trap card.
Yeah,
it's like the
exactly.
ultimate fuck you.
Oh yeah, he's pissed at that every day. He's just like, hey guys, do you remember when my Link 1 was supposed to help me summon these things, but I have to banish 4 fucking cards, and if it's negated, I cry inside?
Oh man.
And then even then, I summon my boy Odin, and then someone slaps a turtle on top of it?
Yeah, there's like, oh, that's a nice god you got there. It'd be a shame if I dropped a kaiju on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I still think, I think it was his theory, which is like, let's just give them a field spell that makes their effects quick effects. Make Thor into like a monster effect and get a skill drain on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, something.
He's like, and I'm like, and everyone's like, yeah, that might be a little broken. I'm like, it's Nordics, they need it. It's like, I hate to say it. It's like, I hate to say it, they need it.
I mean, that's kind of that's another topic for Yu-Gi-Oh that I think is interesting. Is like, I've noticed that like certain cards, like, I don't have a problem with powerful cards that like take up like for example, if I was to build a deck where like this boss monster is like irremovable from the field, basically, like say an ultimate kind of hawk or whatever for the Raid Raptors, right? The card's kind of like, oh yeah, it's
Ultimate
like,
Falcon, best boy.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate like boss monster that's like, oh yeah, I can't be really removed from the field very easily.
Turtle.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, yes, kaiju, but I'm saying that...
I'm just saying, I remember when Raid Raptor Ultimate... I'm just sorry, I'll do a quick tangent. I just remember when Ultimate Falcon was building, everyone online was running Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon Turbo, and I'm just sitting there as a guy that was with it from day one, like, guys, this isn't going to work. You know what exists now that didn't exist during Towers days? Gamma Seal.
Yeah, kaiju.
And every time I would see these videos, I'm just like, Gamma Seal's going to wreck your day. And then he did. Gamma Seal's the savior of Yu-Gi-Oh!, whether everyone admits it or not.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I
all right, but back to your story.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't have a problem if like for example, like with the Goki deck, right? Like I said, it's all about making that one particular Goki monster. I mean, and the cool thing for Gokis is, like, yeah, you're not going to lose all your resources. You're more than likely still going to have a full hand when you're done. It's just you're only going to have that one monster on the field, at least for that turn. So that's yeah. So I'm not opposed to having like one strong monster on the field. You know,
they really should just make it more, in my opinion, they really should have just made it more archetype restricted. Like, if you look at it, the Raid Raptors are usually pretty good at being archetype restricted outside of cheesing Ultimate Falcon out with, like, Cattle Call or something. And even then, you're like, yeah, like, you look at the summoning conditions, it's like, alright, so if I want to use Revolution Falcon, I could maybe use it in Black Wings with Soul Shape Force, but apparently Infinity's just the cool boy on the block right now. Yeah. But anyway, back to the point here, Revolution Falcon's actual Xyz material, like, 3 level 6 wing beasts. That's not very easy to get.
But like the point is, like, I think and to harken it back to the god cards of the Nordic gods, it would be one thing if the payment should match the payoff. You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to cost you 4 or 5 cards to get out this god should at least be matching its immovable
at least matching Ultimate Falcon that typically might cost me 2 cards with like a Lastrix and a Skip Force.
Or if your opponent's dumb enough to blow up your back row when you have Waking the Dragon.
Yeah, we'll factor that into cheesing out the big bird.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. So in my mind, the way I look at it is like that's how those Nordic gods should be, or that's how anything that's going to cost you so many cards to come out, it should be like.
Or actually just keep I think it was the anime effect where they just revive for free no matter what. Yeah. Because then it would be worth the investment. It's like, alright, Odin was Kaiju, but he's coming right back.
Yeah, he'll be back at the end of the turn for free. That would be fair. It's just,
but you have to remove the Nordic tuner, and you're just like, why was that slapped on? Like, maybe back in the day, I don't know.
And even then, if your god is, like, sent to the graveyard, I think by a certain, like, if I'm...
Or you just call by the grave it nowadays, and you're just like, ha 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 ha, Odin was pointed at.
Yeah, you're like,
was pointed at.
I kaiju'd it, and then I called by the graved it, and then I just
And then I laughed as your poor little Valkyrie's just sitting there with 800 attack, asking for mercy.
And then I played, I don't know, Eldritch and just wrecked face.
Quick tangent on that. It really is a sin that deck ended up accidentally becoming good or something, because the one guy Butcher, his other deck he runs is like his zombies, and his old deck back in like the old days was trap monsters. So he's just sitting there, and he's just like, when he saw Edlich revealed, he's just like, this is my fucking deck. It's zombies and trap monsters. It's like the only thing that's going to make it better is if I could somehow hybrid it with dinosaurs. And then he said he was going to... But I hate to say it, looking at how Edlich is used, it might be possible. Back to that might be an idea if you're mad enough to do it. But anyway, and then the pack came out, and he's just like, why is the Golden Boy $100?
Yeah.
That's all he said. He's like, why is the Golden Boy $100?
It's because he's the Golden Boy.
Yeah, I'm just like...
He's worth his weight in gold.
Yeah, but he's just sitting there. I'm like, he's like, Pete, this is a trap monster deck. When did they become meta? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, people laughed at me when I would run trap monsters online. Now what happened, Pete? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They gave him all graveyard effects. That's how they fixed him.
And then they got rid of the effect where they eat up a spell in Trap Zone too, so now he can run Floodgates.
Yeah, so it's like, Konami literally has just evolved.
I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad idea. They clearly fixed the idea of trap monsters not being completely bad, but it's just like he's just crying inside. It's like, I wanted my zombie trap monster deck, Pete, but I can't afford 2-3 golden boys.
Yeah, that's another reason why. That's why I was gonna say, earlier when we were talking about the price of the game, I was gonna say is that's what I like about. It still
terrifies me when I see things like Savage Dragon, like 4-load Savage Dragon. I'm just like, I just bought that from the pack for like $20 because I just happened to be running Rockets, and now I'm like, that went up. Yeah. That went up. Same with Boral Sword. I got Boral Load. The only reason I had half these Rocket cards is because I just bought them day one and because I ran the deck. Then they became splashable and used everywhere, and I'm just like, Borload Savage is almost $100. I'm going to have to, not use my Rocket deck out of fear, because I can't replace it. I can't replace Boral Sword.
That's why I was going to say, that's what I like about the structure deck so much, is they give everybody... Alright, I have a love-hate relationship with structure decks, alright?
My brother loves them. He loved Monarchs.
Yeah, the thing I love about them is that they're usually the cheap.
Bring back Pantheism to 3.
They're
There's no reason that's still. There's still that and like Ultican Hawk. There's no reason those are still limited.
I partly agree. The point that I was going to say though is like usually with structure decks is they come out as, especially as of late, they're like the cheap meta deck. You know what I mean? Like look at Salad, look at the Rockets. I mean, yes, you have to buy other things to make the Rocket deck work.
You can still function with just the 3 structures.
Exactly. You can still make a functioning, competitively viable deck using 3 structure decks, and then yes, you have to go out and buy other cards.
And then there's Invoke Shaddoll.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Invoked are. It's like they seem to constantly go up and down. I swear. Like one time they're super expensive, then they're affordable, and now they're back to being expensive.
Yeah. And now my furry friend's decided he wants to make an appearance.
Well, mine's gone, so he can't say hi.
Oh, you see that? You could have made a feline friend today. My little sidekick right here. But yeah, but I was gonna say is like but the thing I hate about structure decks is this is the part that annoys me is that Konami always hits them, and they hit them early.
Oh, it's no secret. It's no secret. Yeah. There was like unironically the one guy in our group. I'm not. You can see the blog from my YouTube channel, but his name is like Slenderman, we call him. But he was running Salamangreats grades even before the structure deck and before they were cool because he just likes fire archetypes.
Yeah.
So he was kind of initially really like pumped about that structure deck, and then he's like, "Pate, I look like a poser." He's like, "I was running this deck when my only option was Violet Chimera Cheese."
That's how I felt. Like that's.
He's like, these people are all posers. And then even with all these hits, he's still rocking it. All he's doing now is he admits it though. He banks really hard on Pyro Phoenix though. Basically, he just constantly brings that back, just nuke the board every turn. And in a massive free for all, oh god, Pyro Phoenix is effective.
But
I have to admit, the one little tech that he does though, which is actually kind of cool, and I'm not sure anyone else does, that he techs in Exciton Knight, and he summons that as long as he's not under like a Cyberse restriction, and then he nukes the board. But then he on our turns. But then he just banishes a Balance to protect all his shit.
So yeah, am I still?
And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm just sitting there. Like the first time he did that to us, I'm like,
that's dirty.
That's actually genius. Like that's actually a genius. Like that's actually big brain plays. Like that. Like oh god.
Speaking of that, that's a fun fact about that is like there's a fun little thing about you bringing up big brain plays. Dark Hole's actually not a bad card right now. Dark Hole, the old school, just blow.
No, I have nothing against those kind of cards. Like as much as people rip into Raigeki, I'm like, all right, just it's like if you're going second, you might as well put it in.
Well, yeah, and then I was gonna
like
say,
it's like some of these cards, as much as people rip into them, you gotta be. It's like guys, the game's most of the time a match format. So yeah, if you have a devoted going second deck, you might as well tech in Raigeki or Dark Ruinamore and stuff. And if you're going first, Raigeki is not really an optimal card because it doesn't do anything for you going first.
Right. But I was going to say is like...
But that's just come on, guys. Like, stop ripping into things like Dark Hole and stuff.
But like my Blue Eyes and my Dinosaur deck both took advantage of putting Dark Hole in there. And I had like a lot of good results. Because...
Well, at the bare minimum, someone's going to negate that Dark Hole.
Exactly. It's literally negate bait. It's cheap negate bait. And if they don't negate it...
and their shit's wiped.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. You literally play it to make them negate it. And if they don't negate it, well, then I guess you didn't really need all those monsters. You just spent your whole turn summoning.
Yep.
And then of course, in the Dinosaur deck, if you play Baby Dinosaurs... Guess what? You can play Dark Hole going first.
Oh yeah, that's I guess what you're saying there. Yeah. I do have to admit, recently I've been like pretty like teching in and really trying to make Ignister much better off because I swear like people really met. I'm not saying people jumped off the bandwagon, but like every video I see, I'm like, guys, stop spamming out Dark Fluid. It doesn't work. Like it works sometimes. I'm like, guys,
with Ignister,
any spell is going to kill him. He's literally just a super expensive Alapalooza. You can't prove me wrong. So, like, right now, it's just more like, I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, I kind of wish I had the new cards because one of them, that Gat Cheery one, I'm not going to go into, like, the full combo or how I've been doing it, but essentially, that thing can make your cards unaffected by card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. What I've been doing with it is that if I'm allowed to, like if my hand's not awful, that kind of stuff, I can like bury Gatchiri, revive it with Splash Mage, which is like another Link 2 that comes in Eternity Code with it. Link into Dark Templar, then make Dark Templar immune to shit. And and I think anyone who has played against Ignister realize why that might actually be a big deal. Like, oh, you're going to try to... It's like, because most of the time, people save the Rock or Negation for Dark Templar, or Ignister Island. And that's why I'm like, man, I kind of want to get Cheery just to summon Dark Templar and affect myself so I make sure my plays are going. And even if they Nibiru, you still have Dark Templar, now a big token.
Well, one of the things that I've been seeing with Ignister is I've seen a lot of people like teching cards that you would see in it in other decks. Like, I came across a Speedroid deck that uses the Wind to level 7 Ignister Synchro Monster.
Yeah, they do that instead of the Wind Bell now.
Yeah,
I don't blame them because, like, most of the time you're just summoning a level 7 Wind to go into Crystal Wing, and guess what? That one has a grave effect compared to Winter Bell.
Yeah, which is, I think, why they do it, because, like, it's like burn or grave effect. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think we've been talking for almost 2 hours. I think this is a good stopping point. I think we got to know you a little bit behind the screen.
All right.
I think we're gonna cut it off. Otherwise, you and I could talk about this for hours more.
Fair enough, but yeah.
Because you know how it is. So, guys, if you guys have made it this far, you guys are freaking amazing. I know that this series has been getting a lot of views and a lot of watch time. So, just for my own analytics. So I know you guys are enjoying it. If you don't know who Clowny Knight is, go check him out. There will be a link in the description, and if he comments on the video, I'll make sure that I pin it. So,
also, if you want, you can also link to Loki's blog. It should just be from my YouTube channel as well.
All right, I can throw that in there.
It actually is worth some reads. It's like I will say it. He has an eloquent way describing certain cards.
All right, well then. Guys, make sure you go subscribe to Clowny Knight. Check out the blog he's associated with. And I'm Ben 10,000 Wajo. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. And we will catch you in the next one. Peace.